everyone. Welcome to the All Brands Show. I'm Barbara Chatelaine from allbrands.com, and today we are here to celebrate the life, creativity, and education of Louis Carney. He was just such a phenomenal friend and person in the industry, and we were so lucky to have him on our show several times. And so we're just here to honor his life and continue his legacy. We're all artists here to celebrate his artisticness. And so, oh, look, here's some folks chiming in. Alma, yes, good to see you. Prayers to his family as well. And Josie, it's so great to see you as well. And Karen Honey from the UK, it's great to see everyone. So just to recap a little bit about Louis Carney, he began sewing when he was 12 years old in his hometown of Kansas City. He studied tailoring design and visual merchandising in advanced curriculum in his prep school. After college, he began his career in the sewing machine industry, which included working in stores in Chicago and New York, where he was residing before moving back to Atlanta. He has taught so many famous people as well as us maybe not so famous folks. So a list of his illustrious clients include Bernadette Peters, Sarah Jessica Parker, Tommy Mottola, Dr. Ruth, Mary Fisher, Nancy Wilson, even the Rockefellers, Christina Wildstein, Kathleen Glenn, Miss Sydney Poitier, Martha Stewart Incorporated, and Vera Wang Incorporated, as well as the Broadway musical productions of The Lion King, Riverdance, and he also worked as an artist for the Adidas company. We were so lucky to have him as an educator, and we just want to show his beautiful videos to honor him today. So thank you everyone for watching, and we'll be going back in time to the Houston International Quilt Festival Day 3 Louis Carney Trunk Show. Hope you enjoy.
All right, welcome back everyone, and I'm so happy to have on the show Louis Carney, brother national educator, and he has the most inspiring creations. I love what he makes. It's always so fun and creative. And so I'm going to bring him in on the show. And here he is. Hey, Louis, welcome.
Hey, Barbara, how are you?
Oh, excellent. We're on our grand finale of the Houston International Quilt Festival, rather presented by allbrands.com booth. And we're just having tons of fun. So what do you have?
I know, you're getting all ready for the holidays with this quilt show right so close. So it'll hopefully inspire people to do some wonderful things with their machines and to make some great creations and some great gifts. I know we have all this time at home now, so it's like, okay, let's do something, you know, let's be creative, let's think outside our box, and let's have fun, you know. And that's why we sew today, that's why we quilt, that's why we embroider. Is for fun, you know. It can be necessity, you know, like PPE. Thanks to all you guys who have done masks and things like that to support our frontline workers. We at Brother, I'm sure, really appreciate all of your efforts and all the great things, and we're always so excited to see what you have done. So please share that with us. We love seeing what you've done.
I love your jacket, and I love that quilt in the background.
Well, that's one of the things that I want to share with you guys today. If you join us later this afternoon, we're going to be discussing quilting in the hoop, and we're going to talk about how you can take a pattern and how you can create a quilting pattern from your fabric. So those quilts are actually quilted with the printed fabric. So we took a pattern and turned it into the quilting pattern.
Wow, that sounds really exciting. Brother
It's
calls
really
that
fun.
embroidery, right?
Yes, and you do it in your hoop, so it makes it quick, fast, and easy. You know, for example, this quilt.
Ooh,
And
I'll
you
bring
know,
you full screen. How about that?
sometimes when we talk about quilts, everyone thinks big. You always think king size quilt. And so I like to tell people start small. You don't have to join and just start with a gigantic quilt. So this is just a little wall hanging. The embroidery collection is Jenny Haskins. And so it's applique and then also quilted in the hoop with that same heart pattern that's taken and then stippled around the pattern. So I'm going to try to get really close up for you guys so you can see the detail. But look at how beautiful the stitching is. And this is all metallic thread. I love Brother metallic threads. I'm going to be showing you how to use them later on without any problems. I use metallic threads at full speed, 1,000 stitches a minute, and let the machine just go. And I won't say never, but I will say 99% of the time, I do not have any problems with thread breakage. You'll notice that I used my ScanNCut to add crystals because you can do your rhinestone kit with the ScanNCut, so you can add crystals to give things a nice added touch. You know, Jenny is a firm believer in more, more, more. And so I kind of learned from the best. So you'll see a lot of things from her today because I think she's a fabulous artist and she does beautiful things. And I love her design collections. God rest his soul, her son Simon. This is a part of his collection with reverse applique. So here we've quilted in the hoop. And then there are actually 4 layers on this center panel. So you cut away the top to expose the next. You have your underlaying, the batting, and then you have your backing. And so this has been stippled. And so we stipple that with our auto stippling, which is a part of our built-in editing features on several Brother models. You'll notice, hopefully, that you can see the prairie points all have decorative stitching. And again, that's a Jenny Haskins technique she taught me, many, many moons ago. I won't say how long, but a long time ago. But what a great concept to do bicolored prairie points and then add another touch to it by putting decorative stitching into it. So so that you guys will be able to see it really well. And this is just a fun, again, little table runner. Look, what a great table topper. And you could place candle or vase or something over to protect your table. So a quilt doesn't have to be gigantic. You can make a quilt, any size. So this is a pattern. And again, using a Jenny Haskins technique. Now, this technique is twin needle quilting. So yes, you guys probably have heard or used a twin needle before. It's traditionally used for top stitching your hems on knits. You'll see it in denims and things like that. This is where we use it in quilting. And you use a built-in serpentine stitch to create that beautiful raised texture and that beautiful raised effect. And then the embroidery, that's something that I digitized and created. And of course, you got to have your bling. There's nothing like, a boy likes his bling. And then to add the depth and dimension, we do the stippling again. So that's where we're going to scan the triangular shape so that we can tell it to stipple in that particular area, because we didn't want to do overkill with it. But see down here, we have much more detail in the stippling. And I'll just flip it over so you guys can see how it's stippled in the rear. And so it does a beautiful job, and it's so fast and so easy, guys. This is so much fun. But what a great gift idea also, in case you're like, oh, they have everything, I don't know what to give them. Well, I will guarantee you, if you make something like this, they will not have it. And if they do, you take it back and give it to someone else. We believe in regifting. Now, this is a kind of a fun way to learn your machine and to get ideas about your using your sizing, your scaling, and to just kind of learn your machine. You don't just stitch on scraps and then end up with a stack. So here we took the same pattern and we've stretched it. Oops, sorry. We've stretched it so that it would be a different size and a different scale. And I'm going to hold that still so you guys can see. And so here it is in one. And this is a different scale of it. And then we have a third scale in the same one. But, you know, this is a great way to learn your machine. And then you end up with all these little scraps. You're like, well, what I'm going to do with all these little pieces that I'm now stitched on? Again, what a great table topper. You could make a beautiful cover for your machine to drape it with. Why not have a pretty sewing room, you know, a studio? So don't just stitch on scraps and throw them over to the side in a pile. Turn it into something, but it'll help you to learn all the different editing capabilities. Now, in the borders, I know it's kind of hard to see because it is a deep purple on purple, but that is a meandering. So when we do a meandering stitch, and I'll see if it shows up better. Now, you can take your stipple and turn it into a meander. So a stipple is the little tight S stitch that's traditionally done free motion. So you're moving your fabric on your machine and you're doing all the work. Well, we have models that will do that for you automatically. So you don't have to sit and do all of that work. And you can take that stipple and turn it into a meander, which is the big S. So you'll have a larger pattern when you're trying to fill different areas. So there are many, many ways to, you know, get creative and to do different things that makes it fun. Another way to think about quilting is to think of applique. So here in a corner, these are the owls, and this is an applique pattern. Now, for those of you that are familiar with our ScanNCut, all of these pieces were cut on the ScanNCut prior to applique. So this little portion in the eye, that little blue, that was cut on ScanNCut because that's a little thin swoop. And I know of no one, well, no one lucid anyway, that would want to sit and cut hundreds of those little pieces. What if you were making this into a king size quilt and you needed, you know, 30 of those blocks? Well, you would have to sit and cut each of those. So you can use the ScanNCut, which is our electronic digital cutter, and cut all the pieces for you. This is also a built-in part of that pattern where this is the quilting pattern, this star. Now this is all, everything is stitched in metallic thread except for around his little horns. Forgive me, owl lovers, if I'm not saying it correct. Now I know that's the wing and that's not metallic. However, the detailed stitching, that's all done in the hoop metallic. And the little trim is ribbon. So this is wire edge ribbon. So again, think outside the box, use some of those great things that you use for other crafting and do-it-yourself projects. And then you can use it there to embellish. And I mean, oh my goodness, how fun is that, right? And so here's the rear, and you'll see I did do metallic in the rear. And
so the back
don't you think
just
so?
as
I
good
mean,
as
look
the
at how
front.
gorgeous that came
Louis.
out. I cannot take credit. I don't take credit at all. The
Yeah.
machine did this. The machine completely did this. Now, whenever I
That is
stitch things like this,
gorgeous.
I
Absolutely.
also do not hoop. This is stitched with it basted to stabilizer. And so There's still stabilizer in here. So this is, it's a little stiff right now, but that's okay because it's a wall hanging. If you're doing this for a duvet or a bed or something like that, you may want to consider using something water soluble, and then the stabilizer will just wash out when you throw the quilt in the wash. But for a wall hanging, table runner, things like that, the stabilizer is fine to stay in. It's not, going to hurt anything. And it gives you the capability to not have to hoop. So I just love this one. And I just thought it was so much fun. So what else do we have?
Oh,
Now,
Louis, we just have time for a few more. Just maybe
okay,
like-
well, I'll go ahead and get these out quick. Now, this piece, this is a checkerboard with applique, and then the leaves are all fusible. So this was created using fusible thread in your bobbin and fusible stabilizer upside down, and you've just created an iron-on applique. So if you put that in your hoop upside down, you put fusible thread in the bobbin, you can make a patch and it'll iron on. Now the quilting pattern, let's get to an area where that's at. That's actually that flower that's stitched in the pattern. And you'll see that there's that flower, and there it is again. That was taken from the actual fabric and made into the quilting pattern. And then again, turned into a little wall hanging. Of course, you add crystals for the bling, but look at how gorgeous the back came out. Can you guys see that detail? Oh my God, it's gorgeous. Again, the machine did this, not me. And this is all done with cotton thread in the bobbin, and I did use rayon embroidery thread on top. Now, one other fun piece, I'll just kind of show you quick. I like free motioning, and I like to do couching, and 'tis the season to be jolly, so who doesn't love a little wine? Now, this is all free motion, and this is done with metallic threads everywhere. Every grape is outlined, the wine, and then around the bottle, that's chenille thread that's couched, and you use our couching foot to do that with. And so you go in and you use a satin stitch. So these are all outlined with a satin stitch. So instead of just stippling with free motion, you'll use a satin stitch to add the embellishment and just create wonderful. This is a panel, and I know all of you guys are gonna ask, I got it years ago, so I have no clue where you could get it from now or where I had it from, but it was just a lot of fun to be able to do. And again, in free motion. Now I'm working on another one of these cranes and browns right now, but
Hey,
again, satin stitch free motion.
Hey, Louis, I have a question from Michelle.
Yes,
She
Michelle.
asks, what is your technique to not have problems with metallic thread?
Well, I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. Okay, the secret that I find that works for me. So this is, again, a me thing. I use a top stitch needle. Metallic thread should always stand. So, and this is a trick with any threads. If you have cone shaped thread, so this is a cone, it doesn't matter the size of the cone. It should always be placed vertical. Horizontal if you're doing, 20 stitches, but any other time, the thread needs time to release and relax. So that it's going to go up to the thread mast, and you'll want to place metallic threads no matter what, whether they're on a cone or whether they are identical end caps, you'll want to always stand them up. I use a top stitch needle. I do not slow my machines down. If for you guys that don't know, I'm from New York, so everything's fast. And if it can't be done 1,000 stitch a minute, Louis doesn't do it. So this afternoon, if you guys join me back, give you a little preview. We're making quilted gingerbread man ornaments that are quilted with the gingerbread man pattern. And this was all done 1,000 stitches a minute, Brother metallic thread in Brother machines. Phenomenal. It just works wonderful. They do come in little.
That was wonderful. I hope that you enjoyed that first portion that we have of the Louis Carney tribute. I love Anne, who says, I love how he says, I'll make my machines work for me. He was definitely a genius when it came to using your sewing machine to the best of its ability to make things very creative and unique. So we have had an outpouring of support and love for Louis Carney. And so we just took a few of those that we would like to share with you today. The first one is from our dear friend, Cindy Hogan, Brother National Educator. She says, Louis was a dear friend. His ability to brighten my day with, hello, sweetie, with a smile in his voice was sometimes all that was needed to turn my day around. He was a larger-than-life personality and creative soul. His ability and enthusiasm to share his passion and talent with others was amazing. I really will miss our bling king. I'm finding it hard to imagine a world without Louis in it. Heaven is sure to be divinely decorated now, and I am sure the angels are getting a wardrobe upgrade. Thank you, Cindy, for that. Next on the list is Heather Banks. And she's also a Brother National Educator. She sent us, I would love to just say that Louis will be missed among all the Brother Educators. He had a great way of being straightforward and honest while also making you laugh out loud as he told it like it was. I admired his ability to unapologetically say what he thought and always be himself. It's hard to believe he's gone from the team forever, and his enthusiasm and love of his work will be missed. So thank you, Heather. So we have just an ending video of just, he got a lot of love from us in this video, and I thought that it was important to end on a very happy note, because that's how he made us feel, is happy all the time. So this is a video that we did at the A to Z of ScanNCut ending, one of our first videos. So here it is.
Congratulations, Donna. How wonderful. Shop till you drop. You got money there. You can get your rhinestone kit and still have some left over.
Yes, sirree. So Donna, email events@allbrands.com with your name, email address, and phone number, and I'll get that sent over to you digitally. And congratulations there. So is that it? Is that all we have today?
Very, very happy. This has been so great. Thank you, guys.
You're wonderful. And so everyone that's watching. Let's just say bye to a few folks that are watching.
Yes, I see Karen is there. Sandra, I see Renee, and I see Liz, Sherry, Debbie, Nancy, and Barbara. All of you guys. I see Ann and Marilyn, Bonnie. You guys are there. Brenda, Deborah, Cheryl, Josie, Marion. Oh my God, it's so many of you guys. Thank you so much for watching.
I'm feeling the love. And I want to just send love to everyone. So, we love you. We love you.
The world needs now, right? The song says, "World needs now." That's all we need is love, sweet love.
I will have that song in my head from the rest of the night.
Well, thank you guys. And if you have, and you know what, if you do have any questions or anything like that, you also can at my website just send me a little note if you do have a question. Okay, I'll try to answer it. But any technical stuff that you have with Brother Number One, I'll point out again. Also, don't forget, when you need help with anything, my very dear friend Cindy Hogan has written the playbook for your ScanNCut. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna look at the camera.
And Louis, guess what?
That's available for online sale now. So I will go
You
ahead
guys
and
get to get this. If you want to learn your machine inside out, get the playbook. This will teach you so much about your machine. It tells you about all different projects, all different sections of the machine. There are tips, there are tricks, there are suggestions, there are how-tos. And for things that need more explanation, or better explained visually, inside your book, you get a credit card. It's not really a credit card. It is, believe it or not, a USB. So this will pop out and you get to put this in, and there are videos on this. So you can watch a video about something. But if you feel like you need to understand something more or better, or you're at home at 2 in the morning, I'm sure Barbara and her staff are like, don't call me, and I'm going to tell you already, don't call me. But you can go to your playbook and also visit our website. We have videos, we have tutorials, we have information. You can always email Brother. We also have a call and support number. So we give you tons of support besides having a great store like All Brands to work with, to be able to help you as much as you need to understand these different techniques. There are literally thousands of YouTube videos. And then some of them are authorized by us. We prefer you watch those because we know those are the ones that work. However, there have been people all over the world that have been doing all kind of fun and cool and neat stuff. So visit YouTube. So you have a lot of support there. So just utilize that and use the recipes. Go use those patterns. They're free. Use them, use them, use them.
We're getting a lot of folks that say that they already own the playbook and they love it. And guess what? It's in stock on allbrands.com and it's only $149.99 with free shipping in the continental USA. And if you're outside of Louisiana or Texas, our website does not charge sales tax upon checkout. So
see how neat is that? See, so you even save there. And yes, the book is a book, and you're like, oh my God, $150 for a book. It's because of the videos, guys. These videos cost a fortune to make, but they're to help you, and we felt it was invaluable. These same books, these same books, they're like $700 or $800 for other things. So that's a real good deal. And it's going to help you. That's what's most important. Is what is the support worth to you? Do you really want to learn your product? We want you to use it. We don't want it sitting there. It's not a doorstop. It's not decorative. You're supposed to use your ScanNCut.
Yeah. And the suggested price on that is $180. So $149.99 is a really good deal right now for that.
So Valentine's special. Wow.
I love it.
Spreading all the love.
Oh my gosh. I wish I could just give you a hug right now.
Oh, I wish I could. I need a hug right now. It's been a rough week, but I do appreciate you guys so much. And thank you for having me. I hope this was informative. I hope that you guys got to get a little taste of this canvas workspace, as well as see how simple this is in the machine. Once you get the rhinestone kit, cut the alphabet, cut out some of the templates that are already ready to go. Just send it to your machine and cut them. Practice, practice, practice.
Yeah. All right. We love y'all so much. And y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Love we'll to you all. Later. Larry's there, Brenda there, Mary, all you guys, Princess, everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. And if I missed anybody, it's not intentionally. We love you. Happy Valentine's Day. Stay warm if you're in a cold place. Stay dry if you're in a wet place. And otherwise, stay safe no matter where you are.
All right. Well, we'll see y'all later.
Thank you.
Thank you, Louis, for such a wonderful tutorial, and we're sending hugs to you in heaven. We have even more just sayings of love from our wonderful sewing community that we have. I know that a lot of you are very dedicated to the show, and Louis was a big part of our show, which is why we just have to recognize him today. So Gwendolyn Coates from Alabama, she says, my sister and I were at an event in Huntsville, Alabama several years ago where Louis was an educator for Janome. During the lunch, he joined us for lunch and we had a really great time laughing and talking. Susan Fiandella says, when I purchased my dream machine, his videos were so helpful, his voice so pleasant, and his explanations so clear. He will be missed. Now we have Lynn Maynard. After your show A to Z with the ScanNCut, I signed up to be notified by Louis Carney's website. 1 week later, he passed away. I'm so glad you let him talk for as long as you did, showing how to work the equipment. He was spilling out all of his knowledge and enthusiasm for all of us before God took him away to bling up heaven. I agree, Lynn. Those angels are in for a fashion makeover for sure. Chris Cranage says, what an incredible, talented individual. He made me feel like family. When he taught, he included us in the excitement of his creations and made sure we understood every step of the process. He will surely be missed by so many. Thank you, Chris. And now we have Sharon Schroeder from Utah. Wow, all over the world, Louis was touching people's lives. She says, I recently had the pleasure of taking a virtual class with Louis. His patience, humor, and knowledge was amazing. Such a gracious man, so very talented and generous with his abilities. He is and will be truly missed. Thank you, Sharon. And Yolanda, who watches our show a lot from Texas. Hi, Yolanda. Yolanda says, Louis could always be depended upon to bring the bling to everything he did. I enjoyed his charismatic personality and his apparent love for what he was doing. Thank you, Yolanda. And now we have Mary Flauger from Ohio, who says, no matter how many speakers were present on the Brother Sews, he was always the spotlight of the show. And Dolores Karen from Missouri says, I never got a chance to meet Louis, but watched him on tutorials and on All Brands videos. Larger than life he was, and he was always mentioned how small his New York apartment was, but he knew where everything was in his studio. I would have loved to have spent just one day in his head to learn all that he knew. May perpetual light shine upon him. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you, Dolores. Sandra Geiger says, time spent touring London with Louis and cooking chicken and dumplings for him when he stayed in our home. Louis sure appreciated a home-cooked meal. Thank you, Sandra. And Barbara Gaudlin from Minnesota says, met Louis at an embroidery event held at A Stitch in Time in Minnesota. He was not the main educator, but he was the best. He made the day a special day. He was fun, interesting, and knowledgeable. He was a very special person. And Janet Swiggett from Virginia says, loved listening to Louis's voice filled with excitement as he taught and seeing Louis in his blinged out jackets. Yes, Janet, I agree. Anne Reed Carpenter says, Louis was brilliant and consummately knowledgeable about all things creative. His charisma was boundless. I was an ardent fan. Louis planted innumerable seeds of artistic inspiration that will bloom forever. Jenny Owens says, I was in shock and saddened to hear of Louis's passing. He was such a wonderful individual and a great instructor. He made everything look so easy, and all his bling projects were amazing. I'm going to miss him. Prayers to his family. And Donna Helman Krusel says, prayers for family and friends. I was introduced to Louis, though, through It's So Easy with Angela Wolf. He had an infectious spirit that inspired me to think outside of the box. I will miss him. Donna, I very much agree with your comment for thinking outside of the box. Thank you. Arnell Boros says, he gave us so many great ideas and all his sparkles. Prayers for his family and friends. Thank you, Arnell. Sandra Bro says, so sorry, I loved watching his lives on All Brands. Rest in peace, Louis. You were so loved. Thank you, Sandra. Robin says, oh no, this is truly heartbreaking to hear. Such a talented young man. Love and condolences to his family and friends. He was a crafting giant. I tell my husband, when he retires, I'm going to get him to use the machines like Louis. This is so overwhelming. So I want to thank everyone so much for joining us today to honor Louis Carney's life and legacy and creativity, and I'm just so happy that together we were all able to get some of that knowledge and inspiration from him through his video tutorials today. So I want to thank everyone for watching, and rest in peace, Louis Carney. We love you very much.